Hey guys, so I'm back looking like a friggin' school teacher today. These are three things I want to talk about that I think would make a real difference in the real estate industry. Unfortunately, I don't think any of them are going to be incorporated. Number one, to get us started, income taxes need to be reduced by like 50%. I am dead serious when I say that. We are taxed through the roof in Canada at all levels. Whether it's income tax, whether it's tax on goods, whether it's being re-taxed through different goods, it is wild. And that's separate to the cost of living, etc., going up as well. Very, very difficult for somebody to actually put together a down payment on a new property. Even someone who's very willing, wants to get in the market, you've got to save easily a couple of $100,000 in some of our larger metro areas like Toronto and Vancouver. But doing so after tax dollars is so freaking hard with all the taxes. Number two, we've got to cut down development fees and permits here. This is just getting ridiculous. A recent study came out in Vancouver, a $1.3 million condo, on average $270,000 of that price is made up from development fees and taxes across the board. So if you did that and you abolished that, or at least reduced it to a bare minimum, you're taking a $1.3 million home and making it $1.05 million. Again, that's way more affordable, both when it comes to monthly payments and when it comes to affording a down payment for that home. And number three, which unfortunately I don't think this is going to happen. I know there's plans existing already, but it doesn't go far enough. There needs to be help on the down payment. Now, I don't want government giving out money or anything towards a down payment, but we've got the RSP plan at the moment. You can take money out as long as you repay it back and it's tax-free. There's the first time home savers account and so on and so forth. They need to go further than this and have a policy where if you put down, say, $200,000, $300,000 towards the home, that can be written off of your income, something like that. Because yes, the monthly payments are expensive, but the real barrier to entry for people getting into the housing market at the moment is that down payment, especially in those larger metro areas, as mentioned before. And I always highlight those because those are really the numbers that skew Canada numbers where most people are living. So there needs to be done in order to help people get in, because there's a lot of people who would like to get in and purchase and can make the monthly payments work. But the problem is when you add these things together, because it is a whole like link of basically being kicked in the rear end in order to get into the market. You know, you're trying to earn money and put away enough funds in order to build a down payment where you're getting taxed through the roof on what you're saving because you're paying a ridiculous fee. A lot of people out there paying over 50% income taxes, yet they don't even qualify for the average home price index price in Canada for a home. That is just wild. But the government thinks that you're rich enough that you should be taxed like the ultra rich at that point. So you can't even qualify for the average price home in Canada, but the government thinks you're rich enough to tax you north of 50%. The development fees and charges, municipalities have just got greedy during all of this. If you look at how much these numbers have increased over time, some of them have gone up hundreds of percent, thousands of percent. And unfortunately, it's not good enough. Like, it's just, unfortunately, you're gonna have to relook at that, because housing is not always the gift that keeps on giving, which is what I thought a lot of the governments and municipalities were hoping. When they added these foreign buyers taxes, when they added the development fees, I think they just thought everything was gonna keep going at the same numbers and even more, and they were just gonna bring in all of this revenue. You can see that from a lot of the revenue in which they were planning on bringing in. And then finally, putting $35,000 out of an RSP for each of you, up to $70,000 towards a down payment. Well, a lot of the times that's great for a little bit, but we have a ton of people who don't actually have that money in an RSP, and you have to worry about paying that back. And then the first time home savers account, it's like it contributes to a small smidgen of what a down payment can easily be. Because I know that amounts are different, like they've reduced how much you need to put down, but what good is that if you're buying $1 million home and your mortgage payment is gonna be $6,000 a month? If you put that extra bit down and you take that to $4,500 a month, whatever it may be, $5,000 a month, way more affordable than $6,000. Unfortunately, I think that the government and municipalities have tried to get the best of both ends, and it's just not going to work. So I would like to see these three things changed. However, unfortunately, do I see any of them happening? No. Sad news, but it doesn't seem like our governments really want to do anything that's genuinely going to help people with affording a home. So alas, we wait and see. Thank you for joining my lecture today from Teacher Robinson, or Sir Robinson, whatever they call teachers here in Canada now. Thank you, and I will see you next time.